We live in a civilized nation. There is a judicial system in place, there is law enforcement in place. When crime happens, these institutions, the police force, the judiciary, all of that comes into action. Yes, there can be public outrage, but can there be vigilante justice? Should people be taking law into their own hands? Certainly not. That is certainly not okay. You're watching Free Press Journal. I'm Afrida Rahman Ali, and we are going to talk about the violence that happened outside the jail in Assam, where the accused in the Zubeen case were being taken, the public anger that we saw, and the violence that was witnessed. Do like, share, and subscribe to Free Press Journal. Press the bell notification to get alerted for all relevant updates. So let's get started. The 5 accused in Zubeen case are his manager, the festival director of the Singapore Northeast Festival, Shamkanu Mohanto, his manager, Siddharth Sharma, 2 PSOs, personal security officers, in whose accounts there were disproportionate amount of income or money, in fact, found. So they are under scrutiny, and Sandeepan Garg, who happens to be Zubeen's cousin. These 5 individuals were being taken to a jail in Baksa district. When violence broke out, they were pelting of stones. The police had to fire tear gas shells and somehow manage the mob. Angry protests broke out there, and police vehicles were even set ablaze. Sorry, not okay. This sort of mob justice, vigilante justice, public outrage, that spills over to actual violence on the streets. Certainly not okay. Because there is a due process in place which it will only derail. So 3 reasons why I'm saying sorry, not okay. First, this sort of mob justice will only delay and derail the process in certain cases, because then you are distracting the authorities into now controlling the crowds. Let the focus be firmly on investigation, firmly on cracking this case. Remember, in this particular instance, it's like a case that has happened in another country. There are complications involved. We still don't know. The initial case of an accidental death has now turned out to be a case of murder that was filed in this case. And these 5 individuals, as I mentioned, are under the scanner. It is extremely important that the due process takes place in the right earnest, and Singapore authorities also cooperate in conducting the investigation. After all, the investigation has to happen in the place of crime. So focus should also be on getting details from the police force there. Let's in fact listen into Singapore High Commissioner, who's spoken out about this issue and the kind of updates that have come from the Singapore authorities.
On October 1st, the Singapore Police Force has already conveyed the autopsy report and their preliminary findings. Unfortunately, we don't have any more information to share, because the police force in Singapore is currently investigating the case, and I appeal to the people of Assam for your patience, to give our authorities the time and space. They will do a professional and thorough job, and please allow them time and space to do a professional and thorough investigation to the case.
Following this, the chief of CID has also spoken out on what is the process that they are undertaking. Let's listen into him as well.
Yeah, yesterday we received a communication in which we have been asked to provide the names of the officers. That's a normal process, who are proposed to visit Singapore for conducting investigation, and what are our agenda. So we have replied to them immediately, and we are waiting for their response.
So you see, when processes are being undertaken, when investigation is on track in a way, yes, I understand there can be public outrage. There can be a serious amount of dissatisfaction at the slow process, which people feel should have been expedited. People from Singapore who were present in the yacht should have been brought to Assam earlier for questioning. All of them are still not in. One understands that anger. But should it become this sort of violence? Sorry, not okay. So the second reason, let me put it out very clearly, is there can be collateral damage. If violence breaks out, regular citizens will get impacted. There will be people who in that violence can get caught in the crossfire, and that is not something we can afford. And number three, why this is not okay is because it compromises institutional integrity. It is the job of the state to ensure justice. It is also there in law that everybody deserves a fair trial. Everybody is presumed innocent until proven guilty. That's a basic tenet of law. So presumptive innocence should not be stripped off the accused. They must be given due process of law, and they must be allowed, in fact, to present their side as well, as is the case in any civilized nation. And now, as it appears that the accused are so vulnerable that the irony is they are safer inside the jail. If they are let out, they could be probably even lynched. So this sort of public outrage, which has reached a level of a highly violent streak, can be very dangerous, and surely this is not okay. Do write into us what you feel. Like, share and subscribe to Free Press Journal. Allow us to give you more updates on this story as we get in more inputs on this. So for that, you will need to press the bell notification. You will need to subscribe so that you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching.